Coach Thomas could do a credit and we were doing well. So I'm not surprised. How you didn't mention it's something I knew that would have happened. It was a matter of time to have a strong, decent football team in the Senegal. As a line for us to get the next piece of the competition, clearly I knew that we're not going anywhere.
Are you sure you saw our elimination as a surprise, or you saw it coming by the way?
Well, yes, considering I think not sincerity, we didn't give the Kaifor Kouh a chance. Yes, I knew Senegal would have been a tall order, but then some of the things I've heard, the training program. If at one point in time the FA was suggesting that the guys should go by road, so clearly, and most times we think that we get bad results from the pitch, the 90 minutes. No, the bad results, start from the administration. When do they release finances? When do they do the selection of coaches and all that kind of stuff? And then they stop the interference of who should play, who should not play. How do we get to the point that in this day and age that Lawrence Kouh and other guys, we had differences in their ages, both in the system and with their sport. I mean, elementary era, and somebody should be made for it. I mean, how come, when the president explains, yes, he's the guy, now we in New Year, he's the poor guy, he's taking all the, he's not shaking the but, it's clear incompetence at the highest level that a football association at this day and age, two players, different, and it takes you back to when they were thrown out, because of the age problem. Because the president, Mr. No, did not do, the MRI. Instead that players should sign, the players' parents should sign consent forms. Who in this? I mean.
We have our guest. We have the first person here.
The famous phrases of so we have to adjust it and roll out 2025 course. Regardless of the hurdles in 2024, we have to understand that there is a fundamental need or reason to us to be able to maintain our courage and put forward as the journalists. But I'm looking forward to how the year will pan out.
Okay, that goes over to our first guest. Matter of fact, when we here together, we still are waiting the arrival of Mr. Cassell for start with Mr. MS Teachers Glassco. Good afternoon once again and welcome to the Weekend Sports. It's been a long time, I've been away.
Yeah, good afternoon, Kouh, good afternoon, Danisha, and good afternoon, Michael. Good afternoon to your listening audience, and happy New Year to every one of you.
Okay. Well, how is the club doing? Your club, Senior Female Professional.
Okay, for the first phase, Senior Female Professional, we are doing pretty good. Right now, we are seated 5th place on the league table, and going to as professional as possible to see how best we can push for the second phase.
Well, it's good to have you, Mr. President, and happy New Year from my end. Primarily, there are a couple of issues that we intend to question you about on today, and I would like to admit and to say that we appreciate your presence here as, the CEO of Stages, Senior Female Professional. But to start with, from a club perspective, your engagement, you've been a vocal critic of the Football Association. How has it been in summary 2024, your engagement via emails, interaction, Congress, and a whole host of other things? How has it been for you as CEO of Senior Female Professionals?
Okay, thank you again, Michael, for the question. And 2024, I've been a lot of challenges when it comes to advocating for the right thing to be done. Like you said, many times we send emails to the FA, we won't get response from the FA, and it kind of frustrating going to Congress where you get statutory violations, and at the Congress you are not allowed to speak because the president don't want to hear you say anything or to hear what you're going to say for people to listen to the logic in it. It kind of frustrating, but again, we have to keep pushing because we want the right thing to be done. So we keep engaging positively.
Okay.
Well, what do we look to or hope to see in 2025?
2025 will be a tough year because we are gearing towards the election in 2026, and I think for 2024 we've been very diplomatic. We've been following the process, engaging the FA constructively, and to find out that the whole of 2024, with all the effort that we've been making, and the LFA have downplayed that, 2025 we're going to have a different approach.
What is that approach that is going to be different?
That approach is going to be a radical approach we're going to come with, and we know that the LFA will listen to us.
When you say radical approach, somebody outside there will be thinking about the way in which, the way in which.
So Michael, Kouh, the president today, we follow him with the level of Annie Kwame, Adolfo Dodo Sekou Kone. When he wanted things to happen, when his soul rests in peace, when he wanted things to happen, they knew how the Kouh about for it to happen. So I think we're going to take the same approach.
Wow. So that means we're going to see court action, protests.
Definitely, Danisha, because we are trying every means. Tell a reason I wrote the FA, because you said on the board of arbitration, right? And I wrote the FA. This is communication since November. They asked me to pay the fee.
What's the date on that communication?
The 19th of November.
Okay.
And we in January.
Why are you paying the fees for?
There's a statutory violation that I complained about to the arbitration, and that fee was paid. Yeah, that money was paid to the FA, financial department, and I was given a receipt. To my understanding, I've been informed that the president told the people not to give the communication to the committee. And I called the head of the committee, Nito, and he said he hasn't received the communication. And we have a serious statutory violation. We are going to the election. We need to solve all these things. So we have tried every effort. Every effort that we have tried. We will communicate to the FA. We have issues. And we expect the FA to look at our concern and address our concern. But if you just downplay our concern, making it look at people that are writing or seeking redress, you see them as nothing, then I think we are heading for this.
So I have two quick concerns with respect to the communication you're talking about. I mean, in clear terms, were the issues that you were against at the level of the Court of Arbitration?
Okay. I mean, it's a 4-page letter.
So you can summarize it to know what the issues are. And secondly, I heard you say that you made payment to the committee responsible or LFA financial department. I mean, in as much as they've not reportedly addressed your concern, but they accepted your money. So we are in January 2025 since November. So have you been contacted to get refunds since LFA have actually decided not to address the concerns?
Okay, so again, thank you, Michael. So I will address the first question. So the communication is the statutory violation is about the 2018. 2022 Congress. Okay, where we had the elected Congress. At that Congress, there was a proposal for club brewery, club brewery now of Global Farmer. And in that proposal, there was one of the proposals said that there will be a first vice president, new change from operation, vice president for operation, vice president for administration to first and second vice president. And then Clubia proposed that there must be a third vice president, or preferably a female. Okay. And then after 2 years, no vice president they should be appointed by the president, and then after 2 years, they should be reappointed.
Okay.
So I got in my
And
possession.
the 2 executive committee members also co-opted.
Yeah. So in my possession, I got the minutes for that Congress.
Okay.
And in that minutes, that particular proposal did not pass in the minute.
Okay.
But the president appointed Judy Seaton as 10th vice president. The president also appointed Josh Cody and Dr. Moba as executive committee
You
member.
mean Joseph Masanya Colley?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Article 45 of the Constitution, it says,
45.1.
yeah, point one.
Let me read it for you, for our audience.
Yeah.
The executive committee shall consist of 13 members. At least one of them shall be female, which was amended at the 26th Ordinary Congress in April 2018. To the executive committee shall consist of 15 members to include a 10th vice president, preferably a female.
Okay.
The president, vice president for administration amended to first vice president for operation amended to second vice, 10th vice president, preferably a female member, and other members.
So before they amend the statute at that Congress, the executive committee said they were 13. Now the amendment was 15, but all 15 should be elected. So who gave the president that power, that authority to appoint a 10th vice president?
Okay.
And then in addition to that, the president also appointed 2 of his friends, Josh Cody and Dr. Moba. And I'm saying, I wrote the arbitration. I'm saying that those 2 appointments is illegal.
Okay. It's in violation of the
LFA statute.
Okay.
And every penny that they receive during the time setting as an EC illegally, they should be able to pay the money back.
Okay.
We need the money to pay the league clubs.
Okay, that's fair enough. And my second concern is I'm told you have to pay a specific amount to the finance office.
Before you take your case to the arbitration,
Okay.
they had in the rules and regulation before it was 500,000.
Okay.
So we had in our meeting we decided that the money was too much because you deny any people of having justice.
Okay.
So if you put in a huge fine of 500,000 in this kind of economy, we are expecting to, even if I'm right. So the FA, in their own wisdom, after we came up with a suggestion, they reduce it to 50,000.
Okay.
So knowing that the fees, we need to pay before they go through my complaint, I paid the money
to the LFA finance office. Okay.
When I took the communication, it was signed for. And they gave me the instruction. I went to the SG. They told me to go to the finance department and pay the money before they can hear the case, before they can take the communication to the arbitration to the committee.
Okay.
And since I paid the money, I was given a receipt. Michael, up to present, there is nobody.
So since December,
I sent another communication reminding them and telling them that since I paid my money, I've given a receipt up to present. The FA deliberately refused to take the communication to the arbitration. I'm even picking the phone. I called the chairman of the that committee, and the chairman said he hasn't received any documentation from the FA.
Did they give you any reason why they yet to move on to the committee?
I wrote. And since I wrote, the FA haven't responded to me. They haven't said anything or such, whether the communication taken to in that committee or what's the reason for which they are not taking the communication. Nothing. So, and they just end up playing deaf ear to my concern.
So what is the next step now?
So after following the proper procedure, and the FA has failed to listen to my complaint, I will take another approach. I will take a court action. We need to solve the problem. We are going to election. You cannot have a statutory violation and then knowing fully well we will wait, and then the day of election and they come up with different excuse, and then you have one dictator saying that he's going to appoint first, second, and third vice president. No, it won't happen.
MS shockingly, yes, I mean, I was in the FA, I was the media manager at that Congress. If I was the master of ceremony when the Moreover Breweries Panton submitted that proposal, and the proposals were not passed. How did the president move on to appoint Mrs. Julie Seaton, Dr. John Mulba, and Joseph Colley?
Danisha, like I said, I wouldn't take the complaint to the arbitration if I don't have evidence. So in my possession, I have the minutes that was sent to us, Club 2 emails. I have that minutes. In that minutes, that proposal did not pass in the minutes. And when we get to the arbitration, I will present the communication. So, okay, Danisha, they agree, you know, for the argument's sake without a meeting.
Yeah.
And the press and that proposal they pass, right?
Yeah.
Laws are not retroactive. You cannot make the law today and say it will take effect today. So let's assume the president of the country, he gets 6-year mandate.
Yeah.
Now we go for a referendum, and the referendum pass and say to go to 10 years.
Yeah.
You expect the president 6 years to run to 10 years?
No. It says will start new election.
At the next presidential election, then it goes to 10 years. Okay. The laws are not retroactive. You cannot be playing with people like, you know, we don't know what we're doing. Who gave you that power to appoint or tell vice president? Julie was appointed. She was elected as the female representative. As we speak, we don't have a female representative. Where Julie? Julie stay? So we're winning football have issues right now, and we take that issue. The fact that she being appointed by the president, she work at the will and pleasure. The president take away that power we gave to Julie to represent us, because in so doing, she not going to be afraid, because she want to be reappointed as third vice president. So she will do everything in her power. And I can't even understand how the first and second vice president will sit there and the president, you know, will make the kind of a decision.
3 paragraphs in this 4-page letter you wrote, I mean, reminding me about my letter of resignation. But the 3 paragraphs here caught my attention, and for the listeners and you know, also those following the show, kindly be reminded that Mrs. Reese Seaton was duly elected unopposed as the female representative to the executive committee during the elective congress at the Samuel Kyan Sports Complex in April 2022. How can Mrs. Reese Seaton be appointed as third vice president, assuming the appointment was legally done in keeping with the statutes? Is Mrs. Reese Seaton expressly qualified to simultaneously and statutorily serve as female representative to the executive committee elected and as third vice president appointed?
Yeah. So that's the same issue. I mean, you know, she was elected. We gave her the power. Women football. She went on a post. So now the president took that power for her and appointed her. So now she work at the will and pleasure of the president. She's going to dance to the tune of the president, and which is bad for our football. Okay, she need to work in a space where she need to speak or work independently. But now to be working in fear, Kouh. So there are a lot of issues. So another issue just came out.
Which one?
The FA wrote Jubilee Football Club, finally Jubilee Football Club, 10,000 United States dollars. Those people, they are complete joke. So joke at the level of the FA. They need to be serious, because listen, I'm so disappointed in the executive committee, especially the president of Watala, who served as
Anthony Sayer.
he served as on the legal team to sit there and allow the kind of a team to happen. I think it's a complete joke. You wrote the committee. The committee wrote Jubilee Football Club because they were in violation of the club license. The committee wrote them. Okay, the first instant board is a higher decision-making body. Then when you go, the board session. So they wrote Jubilee because Jubilee were in violation. Now, in the communication, they said they agreed that Jubilee presented a document that they did not follow the right procedure. Now, in the book of session is 10,000 United States dollar, but because in the determination, in the communication to Jubilee and to the CC Capital, the FA secretary, they said Jubilee was misled. Read that communication.
Let me read it.
So because of that, they fined Jubilee 1,000. It was not only Jubilee. To my understanding, almost 9 clubs. They fined 1,000 each. Now they wrote the FA. Jubilee pay the money to the finance department. Receive what given to Jubilee. Jubilee continue her game. All of a sudden, the president gave order say they will find Jubilee according to the book of session. They should find Jubilee 10,000. They send the communication on the 2nd of January. Can you imagine?
So there's let me read this letter from the First Instant Bowl to James Nimine, the president, Jubilee Football Club, November 26, 2024. Dear Mr. Nimine, we present one compliments and inform you that during our extra sitting to review and round up decisions on your club, Jubilee FC, based on the result from the Liberia Business Registry presented to us through the club licensing department after the spot check, we realized that your club was misled and your decision to immediately resolve the situation with the business registry and presenting the original document to the committee. The board, in its wisdom, even though according to the book of sanction, approved and adopted by the executive committee of the LFA, states that the submission of any false document is US 10,000 or non-participation, unquote, has decided to fine Jubilee $1,000. You must make the payment as mentioned above at the finance department within 1 week beginning today and submit the required document. Note, failure to adhere within the stipulated days shall lead to additional sanction in line with the book of sanction, and you also reserve the right to file an appeal to the appeal board. For the good of the game, we must abide by all that governs it.
So that's
in football.
That's the
Jacob
first
Derrell, senior chairman, first instant.
Thank you. And he's a
lawyer.
Yes, he's a lawyer. That's a communication from the first.
In
the 1 week period.
That was the question I was coming to.
Jubilee pay within the 1 week period. Now, so I don't know the ethical reliance for which they have sent this communication to Jubilee 2 days ago, find the 10,000 to be paid in 7 days, or else they already get a team. On which, what the reliance? On which ground?
So I thought, I mean, it is the code of arbitration, or the boards. The first instant board should be communicating with Jubilee.
Yeah.
Why is LFA, usurping the function of the board?
So that's
Was there any explanation given to Jubilee Football Club?
So nothing. Let the communication there. So the FA, look, they give people responsibility and they don't trust them. How can you be violating your own rules? Look at the book of session. For Christ's sake, look at the book of session. Executive committee, they are very wicked people. They don't even well for football. I'm telling you, Michael. If you read 2 days, you will feel bad. The book of
I have a copy. I have a soft copy of it.
tell us
From 1,000
economy.
to
If you say that,
10,000.
look, they did this to get at people, and we need to stop this. You can't be witch hunting people. The only reason for which they executive, because everyone of them want to contest again, and the president assured them that we are going to go back in 2026. So we need to do things to go after people, and I think it's wrong. Look in the book of session. If you don't pay your players and your players carry complaint, no participation, they relegate your club. Are you serious? If you don't have office space, they relegate your clubs. Show me which club in Europe. You know how many clubs in Europe get all the players? They all the players. People go into, financial crisis. Yeah. So you can't tell me, say, because they don't pay the players.
The situation of Barcelona.
You relegate the club.
Even had to seize Jesse at one point in time.
Postmore. For example, they have issue. Peterborough have issue before. So they either did that, and because look, that book was session. I challenged the administration. They did not give a copy or email to any club. So they're using this as a means of getting to club.
The FA is the only one having.
The FA is the only one for me to get it. That's small thing.
So
the conversation, but everyone should be open.
Yeah.
So because of that, the few concerns that I have.
Okay.
I have a copy of that book of sanctions. I got it earlier today from the competition. Was that the manager, Joel? Joel shared that with me via WhatsApp because I was concerned primarily. Now, my concern has to do with your interests as CEO and president of senior female professional into Jubilee Football Club matter. That's 1. 2. Why is it that I'll come back to the same point? Why is it that the LFA is writing Jubilee directly instead of the board of the first instant board that like they did in the initial communication?
Okay. So to your first question, Margaret, I am a football stakeholder. Anything I affect a global farmer, it affects me.
Yeah,
because
sure.
today could be global farmer.
I mean, we're in a visual cycle.
Yeah, tomorrow it could be senior female professional. Those senior female professional got relegated illegally, and not many clubs that stood up to that. But for me, I would not see the wrong thing, and then I would support that. Today is Jubilee Football Club. If we don't stand up to this, tomorrow with what they put in the book of session, they trap the setting for people with, critical voices. Tomorrow they will come and say they can even play some of your players and just say, let's see, they bring complaint and say, Singapore, they didn't pay me today. Before I make up my mind, they will say communication and say your club is relegated because you did not pay your players. You understand? So we need to put stop to this, Margot. We need to be transparent in doing things. So the board, you give people functions. You give them responsibility. Let the people function independently. So now it gets into my mind why the president won that proposal for Club Brewery, wanted that proposal badly.
To have absolute power.
To have absolute power. Okay. Because you're going to work like a complete dictator. So in the case where you're going to appoint first, second, and third vice president, and you forgetting to know, in the absence of the executive committee, the emergency committee will act. Now, look, if you read that proposal carefully, we need to be careful. That proposal, in that proposal, it said, before the amendment started, before it came out, the executive committee they used to meet 12 times.
Yeah, a year, of course.
Now, in that proposal, they said the executive committee will meet 6 times. And then, before...
It is only the president that has the power.
Used to call for for a meeting, for executive committee meeting if they had issue. But now, only the president get the power to call the meeting. So, in the case where the president, that proposal passed, and the president appoint first, second, third, then the president will appoint the secretary general, right? In the absence of the executive committee, that those people will be acting. So the president will decide maybe after the Congress, 2 months after, he called his 6th meeting. He don't need the executive committee anymore. He don't need them. All he want to do, he will just say to his emergency committee, he confidant, maybe he appoint his friends that he want to run football, and then say we're going to run football. We don't care about the rest of the people. Okay. We can't run football like that, my God.
Okay. I mean, I think those 2 questions has been.
This is the freedom weekend post. You get questions?
No, go ahead.
This is the freedom weekend post. Yeah, on freedom. It is 79. We broadcast for you on the Kouh session. Please also Mr. MS, which is Glassco, president of the CFP professional. It's the aesthetic. The arrival of Mr. Cassell, Chief Executive Officer of the CFP. We're going to go over this break and we'll do a technical adjustment to be back very shortly. It's break.
Nana trata nana andromo o senea a medimara Bemasukwa, nana te diadio, susumuni edua. Mami kwete, masukwa, mami kenebae, masukwa, e mon mari Teresa, chichi emunia, nana te diadio, susumuni edua.
Issues to the LFA for you to skip those issues and you just come and make it look like everything is okay. What kind of country we in? So then we have a bar audit report and then stakeholder overwhelming voting after the auditor himself telling you that the report is bad. There's a high rate of corruption.
Saturdays in the month of January, in the brand new year, 2025, we're playing host to Mr. MS Glassco and waiting the arrival of Mr. Johnson who to join him on this lengthy football discussions where we're discussing issues of national concern when it comes to football in Liberia. Where are we currently? We're into 2025. What is next? There are a couple of issues raised by the CFP professional president.
Yeah, so I got two concerns. Firstly, this letter from the LFA, like Michael said, is clearly a usurpation of functions that the secretariat has assumed, where there is a first instance board, headed by Chairman Jacob Derrell, a councillor at law, not an Anthony, a councillor at law. Of course. So, but this amounts to double jeopardy. Now, in the assuming, and I trust that the FA, considering the Secretary General who is there and the President who is there, they're going to impose this. I mean, let's say tomorrow morning we wake up to the news that Jubilee has been eradicated, because if the 70 elapse, what is going to be the recourse of Jubilee?
Okay, Danisha, you guys been following me, and when I take my stand, I take my stand. Like I said, besides Jubilee, if or any other club, I would do the same. And like we did when War Girls were already here, and we were all on the radio, pushing that. Because if we don't put stop to this today, it will continue. I can assure you, on this, fourth day of January on the national platform, I can assure you that if that happens, there will be no football. There will be no football play. The league will stop. We'll stop the league. We will go to court. We will put an injunction on the league. We will address the issues before the league can be played. What make it just sit in Hekono and just feel that he knows everything and then you want to brainwash everybody? No, that will not happen. The league will stop. I can assure you that the league will stop.
So, as CEO of Senior Professionals, have you cross-checked with Jubilee Football Club to ascertain as to whether the documents submitted were fake? And what was the response like to the initial communication from the first instant board? Even though they paid the money, so they acknowledged that yes.
If the document was saying
fake,
and they wouldn't happen.
Okay, so they acknowledged that.
They acknowledged that.
Okay.
So like you follow, because they did the investigation.
Okay.
The first instant board got all their evidence,
and they assumed that
in that communication, they said Jubilee was misled. That means somebody was given a responsibility to do this, and somebody told them to go this way. Jubilee was misled.
Okay.
Knowing that in a league, you didn't do things properly, so they were misled. So because of that, they know that the book of sanctions said 10,000, but because Jubilee was misled,
so they reduced it to 1,000.
1,000 fine.
Okay.
Which Jubilee pay within the time frame. Okay, Jubilee pay within the time frame. So you cannot come back. Margot committed a crime, and you say Margot, you say Margot to jail for 5 years. for murder.
Maybe a week or
Then
two
I
after.
got 7 5 years. He keep start moving around.
You're
Then
going
you
to
keep by again. He say no. My God, you have for 5 years. You going for life imprisonment.
Yeah.
What kind of sense does it make? I don't know who even wrote that communication.
It was written by MFP.
Let's get detail from the president of Jubilee FC, Mr. James Limini. Good afternoon and welcome to the Weekend Sports. So I guess you're following the show.
Yes, I'm closely sitting by my radio and following the show.
So Jim gave all detail about this story about relegation being hanging over Jubilee if you guys fail to pay the 10,000.
Thank you so much for having me, Kojo. Again, and Mr. Thank you for effort for raising this issue. We are into football. We are not here for playing on some talent show. Football is a very serious business, and we are a legal institution, and the LFA cannot treat institution have been in existence for over 16 years. Anyhow, our club have been in existence. We've been in full compliance with the LFA with regards to the club licensing since its inception. And so, with regards to the documentation that Jubilee allegedly submitted a fake document, we submitted ourselves to the first season board investigation, and we provided clarity on how the document was obtained and submitted. And the first Istanbul did the verification, and they got to know that Jubilee was misled along the way. For the matter of fact, we were also able to present to them the current business registration and our status for regularized for the Lagos business registration.
For the sake,
okay, in the wisdom otherwise, so just find out $1,000 instead of the 10,000 in the book of sanction that nobody has seen, no club has seen, no club has touched that book of sanction.
Okay.
All of a sudden, we receive communication that we were fined $1,000.
For the sake of the public, do you care to give us a clear rundown on how you guys managed to get the document?
I think this is important. We were in a crisis, leadership crisis for the past 2 seasons. As you may be aware, Thomas Kujo, from 2022, because if you look at the letter, there is a letter that the business registration wrote to LFA that the last time of regularizing of business registration status was in 2022.
Okay.
So we can look at from 2022 to 2023 between there was a serious leadership crisis where we have Edwin Carr to where his name Emmanuel Wine coming back for James Limini, and there was a ups and downs with a shifting head administrative staff one of you. And apparently some of the people did not know the importance of these things. They went about just creating something that eventually would have spat out what have come up now. So along the way, there was missteps along the way, things that happened, as I said, administratively, which led the Jubilee FC being in such a position. So I cannot safely say to you that we deliberately submitted such documents to LFA, which our team is a religious institution and stands for integrity. And so we sent that to the first Eastern Board, and they listened, and they did due diligence by making an investigation to the business registration, and they got to know that indeed there was some foul play went on with the business registration, because how did Jubilee FC got the signature? How did Jubilee FC, because our team number register on the business registration, when you scan the certificate, you will see the business registration on the certificate. So how did the certificate become fake certificate? How all of these things don't play? That is why we could not for being him as the president now, could not determine as to how that happened. But in the wisdom, as I said, with the first Eastern Board, and they knew very well that there was a foul play and there was some missteps along the way, which led Jubilee for submitting such a document. All of our documents have been submitted to LFA are then legitimate, they have been genuine, and they are in existence in the system and in the local football association. So
what exactly Councillor Jacob Jibrio has been telling you since the LFA informed you to go and receive your 1,000 from them and pay the 10,000 in 7 days?
The first Eastern Bowl chairperson, Councillor Jibrio, is very firm with the decision. He's a professional person, and he afforded us the opportunity to speak to the issue and provide all of the evidence that we had, which of course we did. And so based on that, his expressed opinion in that matter, he and his members of the committee, and they communicated to us to pay the money in 7 days, $1,000, from which we did in 7 working days. And then we issued official receipt for the level of resolution. Coming back now to tell us to come and receive money that we already pay after 3 weeks. The money I'm paying the LMA account after 3 weeks on the back.
So you are interested in you.
It's not laughable, and the council is firm with the decision, and I can assure you that the council understands the decision because they are professional people, as Evan Weston stated, the decision that is separate state, and whatever come from them and their brother, that decision remains final and working out the issues.
I have one question.
And one secretary will come with some money and say the decision has been overruled and Jubilee should come for refund of the money that they paid.
Jimmy, I got 2 questions for you. One is, have you brought Councillor Jacob Derrell up to speed regarding the letter from the Secretariat or the Secretary General Emecrator? And then 2, you are somebody who is versed with the law. I mean, you work in the judiciary, you are a notary public. In case your club is relegated, are there recourses to the law that you're going to take advantage of?
I just think the decision from the LFA, they just want to test the overall. And yesterday, I received the hard copy of this communication from the General Secretary. I was listening to his yesterday, and I said, he just want to test the water to see the side of Jubilee FC. We are very versed with the law, as you said, yes, but we cannot look at our club to go down the drain to say we're relegation technicians. The element is copy, and I can show you that we respond adequately to the we are in the communication. We started all of the legal provisions from the club licensing regulations, the FIB responsibility in line with the CAP regulation, the power that the FIB has. The element statute, we started all of the legal provisions to respond to the Labour Football Association. We had several counts there. The law said surpluses not vitiated. So we will come up with several counts to the General Secretary of LFA. And I believe that when you see that letter, they will have no clue but to define on whatever they want to do.
How soon will you submit that letter? I mean, today is the 4th day. You got 7 days. That should be by the 9th. The deadline is the 9th. How soon will respond be into the FA?
I just said to you, I'm calling in my official response. I'm already done with it. I'm just going through the editing back to the radio to follow the interesting program, and I'm following my official response.
So, Mr. President, I have a question.
There are other remedies that you have to resort before taking the action in front of the LME. So we know all of the remedies. But I'm kind of graduating that this time, there is a year that will be very radical. The LME is not one of the radicals. So they embrace the radicality. We're going to work in our
Be very combative.
So,
the right one thing, and to know which one, because this is on which one, and we will communicate to them. We'll share the communication with the media.
okay, just one question from my end. Are you getting me? Okay, please. I have a question. I mean, Jubilee Football Club is a franchise, and there are a lot of other people involved with the club. The head pastor of the Jubilee Fellowship. I mean, the Reverend is also involved. Cassell is involved with the club. Have you consulted the rest of them to know exactly what next to do? Do you are the president of the club?
Yeah, for the matter of fact, I just got off the phone with Cassell before you call Kenny. Cassell and myself, we are talking, and we are meeting very soon. As I said to you, we are almost there, and with the communication will be sent to people. They are in the know. They are very versed with the situation, and they are in the know. And we have two things that we are looking at, and as soon as we exhaust that, we will let the media to know.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President.
That's the voice of
All right.
James Bimini, the president of.
So I was jokingly saying, I mean, the fact that the club paid the 1,000 and the money has stayed in the LFA bank account for almost 2 weeks. So they are interested in giving the money and telling them, say, okay, the length of time you stay here, we add extra 3,000 or 4,000, add extra 5,000, you pay the money back to us. But then, if you get anywhere else, I mean, there should be interest, 25% or maybe 10 or 15. But I mean, it's unfortunate. Like I've always said, 2025 will be a crucial year. Very crucial. So all of the clubs will have to dot the I's, cross the T's very carefully, because I've always said that the president of the Football Association is always ready to fight. I mean, you want to fight.
Sure, Michael, you're not getting it wrong. The president is ready because that's the only thing now he depending on. Now he's no longer with Orange. The new management. He's not with Orange anymore. The new management asked him to leave. He doesn't go the way. So elevate that he played that the only thing he depending on. So he's going to do everything possible for him on that. Yes. The evidence. I mean,
I mean, reportedly,
the president of the office by 6. We got a busy job to do a job and then do every other 6 o'clock or 6 in the morning to do. So that's the only thing the president hoping on now. The episode he will do everything to go after everybody, anyone that will stay in the way. So we have to be strong.
As a former employee that the president regularly goes to the LFA. In fact, he's there as early as 5:30, 6 o'clock.
So when he's
now with Orange.
No, it's not a reliance. He's not with Orange anymore.
But Danisha, it's possible that maybe he lost the LFA job. The Orange job is a technical work that he doesn't have to be at the office at Orange on a daily. Yeah, right. So LFA is hands on. He has to be around to ensure that people do the work. I mean,
so ironically, this president who has 2 jobs has been terrorizing people at the FA who have 2 jobs. I'm one of them. He told Tommy Johnson to choose between the Ministry of Youth and Sport as the equipment manager and the LFA. Sabati calling his special assistant.
Yeah, so he got 2 jobs. So he made that 1 job now.
And it had not been for Raymond Smith, Tommy Johnson would not have been well, because Raymond said if you want Tommy to choose between the Ministry,
you two have to choose.
Sabati calling will also choose between the LFA and the Ministry. That's how he. But he was determined to get rid of Tommy. Okay. He pressurized me to let go of the ECOWAS job and stay with the LFA and stuff like that. And I mean, he opposes to people, and as a professional person, like we say in Liberia, one year full of the fact, and the people have 2 jobs,
It's something that I have to follow up on. I mean, it's alleged that the president lost his job. I mean, that's very huge. I will leave him a WhatsApp message to confirm that, because recently, I mean, Orange bought him a new car. Reportedly, yes. Because I did not. No, I
only posted on the page that
Let's go to the line. We can confirm that Cassell won't come for the show.
Yeah. Confirm.
It's now confirmed that Cassell won't come for the show. So that goes to the line, starting in the eye of our callers. Call us on 0776 104 104.
Okay, easy. Just try reaching out to me. So you can just call back. I will get you through from this. Okay, let me just. I advocated for him, or I practically alerted him that as executive committee member, you're supposed to be getting him out.
Hello. Your name is Jonathan.
I'm calling from Pushapana.
Where are you?
I want to follow this case. It's so unfortunate and Jubilee will be treated as this. Jubilee is doing well. But I want to ask, I will be a question the president of Jubilee can answer this question.
Because you listen
after he was fine, he paid the $1,000, which of course
okay.
If he resubmit a fake document, then the real one resubmit because somebody say laying that I know about. Did he, after paying the $1,000,
yeah, he said yes. He said it to the community.
James back to answer.
James said it after the committee to the.
So I'm trying to call. Oh, I'm sorry. Easy. You call me back. Maybe we'll make some. The calls are. I will just let you call back.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, where you coming from?
Yeah, so I'm Isiaka Mayamu Sharif, and I'm joining for the 12 months of the country.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I listened to your guests and also some of the panelists on the show. And I have a few points of raise concerning what they said. Especially we love our football, but also former members of the Raji.
Former member
of the Raji Miga team.
Also, you left Raji team?
Yeah, I left for that because some of the behaviors. Let me just highlight some of the issues that were raised by your guests.
Go ahead.
You know, number one, when they talk about it, is the statutory laws violated. We have been reading some of the articles and many days we follow Rajiv footsteps and we get to know that yes, indeed, you are just a dictator. We're going to listen to anybody. Rajiv has violated the statutory laws on many occasions. During employment unit, naturally, no advice, nothing.
Point your son, man.
Anybody.
Point your son.
Right? And this man is very intolerant. This man is caught on video when he met or Cassell. Once or when he did not speak to the man, probably the man is full of everybody.
I mean, speaking of fools, but all of us are over there.
That is not leadership, my brother. That is not leadership. You don't do that.
I'm trying to get that too.
Because the man is very intolerant. The man has all the idea now, and we always say that Raji need to leave the station. For good days on the way to leave the station. If you don't know the time, you'll be disgraced. It will be very radical 2025. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah, okay, I think I have the EC here now. EC, are you calling to participate on the show or a private conversation?
Yeah, basically, I'll find a conversation. My friend, for over 20 years, Glassco mentioning my name.
My man, when people go, that I way back.
Hey, you all the judiciary committee,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just need to make something clear, especially what he's speaking about the first instant board decision.
Okay.
And I was asked to provide my legal opinion because as head of legal, I'm in charge of advising the FA on legal issues. And so my research has shown to me that the first instant board has jurisdiction. It is a lessons first instant board, so there is only for lessons, right?
Of course.
Making sure that cops are listening. And it was interesting to note that even the recommendation for the book of sessions came from the top legislative department in the first instant board.
Of course.
Yeah, for the EC approval. And so it generated from them, and then the EC approved the book of session. But just to get quickly to the Jubilee issue, you read the ruling from them. They were clear that Jubilee was in error. I mean,
they were misled.
Something happening along the line. But my issue was as to whether the first interval has jurisdiction over the case, especially wherein they are already lessened Jubilee. Right? My issue is they will have jurisdiction if it was before lessening process. But the fact that Jubilee have been lessening already by them, I think they don't have jurisdiction at that stage. They should go to disciplinary committee rather than to them. That's why.
One second. Let me inject. I'm coming, Danishas. I'm coming.
So why is
let me inject. EC. As at the level of club licensing in the first instant board, like you mentioned, they are responsible to license in the rest of it. Now they realize that the club licensing department, I suppose that they realized, that there was a misstep. So Jubilee had to submit themselves to whatever investigation, and the very board that licensed them says, we understand that you were misled, so you are fined 1,000.
Go ahead. So I'm saying that the facts are not like that. It's not like to say the licensing board or the licensing department. It was the FA that decided they selected few clubs, and that's an issue we had, and said they should select all clubs. But they selected a few clubs and sent it to the registry for verification.
Okay.
Now, yes, that's what happened. So they wanted to just verify that. Just verifying it. So is our duty to make this. So it's time to write a letter on the signature of the Secretary General. So the registry, the business registry, NRB, something like that. So the registry will plan the FA and say, look, from those that you selected, Watanga was one of those that was selected. Watanga, XYZ, plus, this plus, documents are not legal as per our record. Now, at that stage, the FA now say, okay, the point to us in the issue, the massive issue was, guys, on what data you selected the few clubs? They said it was random sampling. I said, fine. If the random sampling came up with such a huge result, I think we need to send all of the clubs. All the club data registration to the national data registry for verification. In that instance, it will be like we are not responding any club in particular. So the FA is going to do that because I'm insisting on the FA doing that, making sure that all clubs, first and second division, and upper women clubs, need to send for verification so that it doesn't appear that we waste only few clubs. My other issue is, I'm saying is after they were lessons. Now, Marco, if it's a work of the club licensing department to make sure they verify documents and then submit it for the board to have the right, if they see that the documents are not okay to verify before you give lessons. That's why the book extension is there. If you believe that some of those things were not okay, you should have stopped them.
So why
Once you have given lessons,
responsible?
but issue is at that level, you don't have jurisdiction because you have lessons them.
Okay.
It's not for lessons again.
So, I want us to have a conversation. I'll hand the phone to you. But you see, the fact that Jubilee, among other clubs, went through the club licensing program or processing, and they were licensed. The first instant goal, they were also licensed. Then what? So that?
They were lessons by the 20th.
Exactly. And subsequently, I mean, with the elephant decision to do random spot check or whatever that was, and they realized that Jubilee were culpable. Why you blame Jubilee? Because they went through the process.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Instead, there's no one there should be discipline in the community. I would decide, look, there's not paying for next one here, not lessons, because you already been lessons.
So are you suggesting that the first instant board, wrote the letter without the consent of the football association?
No, but they don't do it normally. Normally, they are independent.
So when they roll out, they pay the money.
Yeah, they right directly to them. So now the FA, so when the FA did watch, so legal opinion, I didn't go into the merit of the case, right?
Okay.
As to whether I didn't go into the merit of the case.
So you as the chair on legal, what was your opinion?
Yes, that's my opinion. My opinion is I'm not looking at whether the 10,000 or the 1,000 fine is justified at this stage.
Okay.
My issue is jurisdiction.
Okay.
I think that this law jurisdiction, the fact that it's lessons Jubilee already.
Okay.
I think that if they were at the stage where it was before licensing, they could have had jurisdiction.
Right. I understand your point. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that was my only issue. So that's what I have had.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a conversation as to whether 10,000, and to be frank, 10,000 is very huge. I don't know, for some reason, it passed over some of us, and we should take responsibility, but that's the law.
I think it passed over.
10,000.
So while you were sleeping that it passed? Were you sleeping when it passed? What do you mean?
No, it's not about being sleeping. I'm saying
The majority
that
voted for.
I mean, the central boys or you just the whole book. Everything what happened back on when situation will call that's why you want that one most of the time you go into the studios and see look, oh yeah, you got things that we should have. So every year it's all if you look at last year, right?
But thank you so much, Mr. President.
So we have Jara. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Thank you for allowing me to participate on the show.
Okay, I guess you want to give your view on this.
Yeah, so there are many views I like to give, but I just want to ask the EC a question. They claim that the president board they have authority, but this president board in the past have been the one finding all clubs for violation of the laws. So how come only today they will teach, only today they will give their advice? Even Jubilee were previously fined by the president board they will pay and Jubilee paid before. Did that have they look at the club electricity regulation for tax? because I didn't call for registration. So my club, my president will be writing CAF, will be writing FIFA. He immediately to look at that book of sanctions because it was working in collaboration with CAF. I just hope that they will agree. But basically, I wanted to ask the question: how come the club have been filing clubs before in the past? Yeah, that's been an issue. Only now will be an issue because Raki wants to be president, and you feel that taking Jubilee out and feel that Jubilee has to and taking it out would be a problem.
I would like to just confirm that Edwin Brewer, the Secretary General of the Sports Writers Association, says the president confirmed that he left Orange, Liberia, so he no longer works for Orange, Liberia. So the man have enough reason to go to the LFA by 5 million.
No, we are on a time already. But the media officer of the Football Association was trying to call. I don't know for what reason. It makes it call all of time already.
No, but he gave me a benefit down for a few minutes.
So let me wait out because we're out of time. Let me see.
At the same time, you know, TV, call that country. What you want to do now?
Wait.
What a time.
Yeah, go ahead. Welcome.
When you talk, we respond.
Yeah, go ahead.
The man.
So, man, if you feel where the grass is not growing, so then
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead now. All the time.
so at that Congress, it was submitted by all of
They can laugh. That ain't the one you know.
I mean,
What was that? Yeah, right. Yeah, that is true.
then you put the public how many votes, how many people of voted, how many person voted yes, and then from the public that the FA provided the information to the ministry provided because that ministry was submitted to FOC and also when you tell the book of sanctions the people that played the FA had that person was starting to the school right there, so you just start looking to that of 2024. Unless the you guys don't get with this to that. And that same document was submitted to FOC, we had to know and got web chat which was so I mean, that's not the providing services.
Okay, Kouh, thank
I
you.
I would have loved to respond to Kouh, but I mean, his line is very bad. I'm hoping that maybe we can give him another chance.
I'll respond.
You come
To Prime?
Food Truck.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah. I was at that Congress, so of course, so we can have a long conversation.
Let me just respond to Kouh quick. So, Kouh talking about at that Congress, I was not at the Congress. Kouh just coming to the FA. He was not even following football like that. So, Kouh is not telling me that the laws are retroactive. So, that means that we go to Congress and we pass a law and say, today, the April 12th Congress, and we say the presidency will go 20 years. After that, so that means that you will just, we don't have election again there, 20 years. That could be serious.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm hoping if he's listening, I mean, you have the time. We can come to Prime FM.
So again, let me just apologize to your listening audience because I think everybody was hoping that the CEO was going to be on the show. Lately, he sent me a text that he couldn't make it, and say sorry on his behalf. And let me say thank you to the Freedom family. Although the first vice president can say our co-host to the show, but again, let me say, let me say thank you. Let me say thank you for affording me the opportunity again to come and discuss Liberia football. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Michael?
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much. It's good that we always come here to have a conversation about sports, and hopefully, like I said, I didn't really get the response from Kouh clearly. Yes, I was at that Congress. I still have, I think, copies of people who voted yes, who voted no. I still have copy of the stuff, the proposal that was submitted by Monova Club Brewery. So I'm interested when Kouh said that I think people voted by proclamation or whatever acclamation. So I will need to have that conversation. If he's interested, I mean, Prime Sports is available. We can have the conversation for the public group.
That would be my parting comment. I'm a little bit taken aback, but I'm not surprised. So if what the media officer is saying is correct, we've passed the 2-year period now. Why hasn't the president appointed new vice president and stuff like that? I mean, because the proposal it nullifies the election of vice presidents and gives the president the authority to appoint vice president. So if what he's saying that those proposals were passed, why hasn't the president appointed new vice president after? Because we passed the 2 years, 2022, 2024 is after 2 years. So like you said, I'm around. I mean, I'm going to stay in town until Prime Sport track is over. I'm interested. Let's have a sit down. We can also talk about who is eligible to play in the Premier League, because he responded to that. Whether a Liberian player can play. We can have an expansive. I mean, I like intellectual exchanges. I mean, the radio is the marketplace for the exchange of ideas. Okay. So let the Football Association come so we can have a healthy exchange.
Thank you. And this is how we're going home on the first editions of the program, The Weekend Sports. We had MS Teachers Glassco as our guest. Mr. Cassell Kouh was to be here, but due to some tight situation, he couldn't come. But this is how we'd love to bid you farewell. Until then, the name is Thomas Kojo Rolla. Bye-bye.